Tron's dropped a bit, isn't it? Someone says he's gonna. The next stint up is after it drops.
Well, my rudimentary Elliott ways. 3 weeks into it. I've got it on the down leg to see something just above 900. It's been following it pretty closely. So.
What's that, Tron?
Yeah.
Strong sell. Hey, puppy. He's a good girl. He's a good girl. He's a good puppy. Good puppy. Good puppy. He's a good baby. All right, let's remember there's a little bit of a delay for you guys where we have our Discord chat versus the audio you get. So just ignore the audio or mute the audio from YouTube. Other people can hear that. Doesn't matter. We have our own chat, so we'll just use our Discord for to talk. Okay. That's good. You got like 30 people in here. That's cool. All right. Damn it, I keep putting my phone down. Hey! No! No barking! No! Bitch. You guys hearing me okay from the YouTube side? People who are on YouTube who aren't in our chat said they can't really hear me. I have a doggo and a puppo. And that's a Rocco. But the squeezo is on the couch, and the doggo and the puppo are over there by the door, and they're barking. You guys ever see that? Doggo lingo? What is a pupper and a doggo?
Hold on. There we go. Screen move. Got it.
See if this will actually work. I'm gonna mute Discord, or I'm gonna get a loop like a mofo.
This is a doggo. A small doggo is a pupper. There's a sad pupper. Then a big old pupper, that's actually a doggo. Not to be confused with a big old doggo. This is a doggo. A small doggo is a pupper. Here's a sad pupper. Then a big old pupper, that's actually a doggo. Not to be confused with a big old doggo, because that's a woofer. But if it's just a small woofer, then it's actually a doggo. And do not pet a snip-snap doggo. Sometimes a pupper is a real small pupper, and that's a yapper. But then it grows up to be a big old yapper, and that's a pupper. Now, a big old woofer is no longer a woofer, it's a floofer. If it eats a humans, then it's a grizzlord. Stay away. A floofer won't eat a humans, and a small floofer is just a woofer. Duh. There are many, many doggo species, like common doggo, also known as doge. Special doggo is rare and very special. Other doggos could be a wrinkler, or a corgo, or a shoob, or a long doggo, or a puggo, or a party puggo. Doggos do things. A doggo in the water is an aqua doggo. A woofer in the water is a subwoofer. Lots of bork bork snarl makes for a heckin' angry woofer. A doggo in a costume is bamboozled. Sometimes they're doing me a frighten. This is Trash Boy. This is doggos making puppers. This is a very fast doggo running at incredible high speed. Diagrammer doggos, and anything else with Lucid Chart.
It's awesome. I love those. Alright. Okay, let's take a look at some crypto shit, shall we? Discord, you hearing me? Alright, I had to unmutify you. Alright, let's see, what do we got here?
Have you looked at Zen by any chance? Because it just got listed and it's starting to pump right now.
No, let's check it out. Where did it just get listed? On Binance? I think it was on Binance,
Yeah,
right?
just a few days ago.
Yeah, thought so. Oh, there's our loom play. It's the bigger triangle I'm looking at. This is the older chart. Let me this was a different saved chart. Let's look at the one that goes from all the way down there up to here. That's the support for the triangle that I care about, the bigger one. It was further up. Hold on. It's right around there. And then there was another support. I just don't remember where it was. Oh, that's why we're looking at 5 minutes. It's all fucked up. Really? Really, Rosie? With the squeaky toy during my live stream? Asshole. She's like, fuck you, Dad. Squeak when I want to squeak. Got a problem? Take it up with Mom. Good girl. Good baby. I don't know what that X was. So where was that other support we had? That was a support. Well, it was like a whole support range, so it's really hard to nail it down. But you can get right in the middle of that range. See where that was? Yeah, that was way down below the that stop loss area. But hey, with the pots and the pans, you want to not do that? All right. Who is that? I gotta make sure I mute your ass. Okay, it stopped. Oh, come on. Who is that? All right, voice activity is disabled. If you guys want to talk, you have to use push to talk because people like to slam around pots and pans and drag barrels across the concrete floor in the middle of our Discord chat. So I enabled push to talk. If you are on the phone, connect to the Discord voice chat again, and you'll have the push to talk button. And if you're on a computer, you have to go into voice settings for the voice channel and enable the push to talk button. I use spacebar. You can use whatever the fuck you want. All right.
I can't help it if I'm moving my slaves around in the basement, okay? They make noise. I just got a really weird look from my girlfriend on that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Happens to me too.
She's just surprised because I don't have her down there right now.
She doesn't know what to make of it. She's been allowed. She's been allowed upstairs. She's confused. Okay, let's take a look at. Whoops. All right. Well, so on Loom, hopefully it bounces soon because there's a couple supports there, some trend line supports, but it's nothing that's that well defined. Only like 3 tests at the most. I like to see on a trend line. I want to see like 3 or 4 strong bounces off of it before I consider it a valid trend support. In this case, it's kind of weak, but you can kind of see this is loosely developed. This flag formation, and it's been going for quite a while. It's staying pretty much within the same bounds. We got lower highs and higher lows, so it's definitely compressing and consolidating. RSI hasn't gone anywhere, so that's how you know it's stagnant. We're moving sideways. It's in a compression phase. Once it gets into the apex of that wedge or triangle, then it has a potential to move really hard. It just hasn't done that yet. but eventually, once we get a more well-defined trend line, we'll be able to get a better idea of where that's going to be. I thought it was going to be over here, but we're already dipping below that area. It's very possible that we end up with a trend line that looks more like that if we keep coming down a little bit lower. But right now, we are getting higher lows, so it's usually a pretty good indication we're getting to that point. We just need to get something that's a little bit more concrete as far as what our trend line is going to be, so we know where that apex will fall. This is the hourly. It's very stagnant RSI for the hourly, so there's definitely not a lot of trading going. You can see since the last high volume activity, we've come down a lot. Other than a couple big buy volumes or big sell volumes, we haven't seen too much in buy orders. So as soon as that comes in, the potential is here. When you have a formation like this, a bullish flag, pennant, triangle, wedge, all you really need is that buy volume. As soon as that hits, you bounce out really hard because of the way the volume has come down. So a small amount of volume at a higher price will have a dramatic effect relative to what you've been looking at. And it's all about relativity. Once you get that big boost, then you get a FOMO effect. People keep buying. That's how reality ends up matching these charts. The TA sort of fits with the real world scenario because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. People trade based on the TA, which reacts to people trading, so forth. So in any case, Zen we were going to take a look at. We could look at that too. It's really breaking out hard now. Ever since it hit Binance, it hasn't been doing much. It obviously pumped a lot before it hit Binance. If you go back and look at Bittrex, where it's been listed for a while. So this could be a really good entry now. Theoretically, I mean, it's really going like parabolic, but this is a short-term interval, so it's hard to really say. But you can see the curvature. That's what it looks like when trading, when the price action is going parabolic. It forms this parabola. Whoops, that was fucked up, but you get the point. So it's definitely getting a lot more volume now. It's moving up a lot. This could be a very good play, actually, just to jump in for some quick gains. But I'm not going to do it just because that's purely FOMO and speculation. I don't have enough data to be comfortable jumping in myself, but you guys are more than welcome to if you want to take a chance on it. It's pumping like crazy right now, so it's a pretty good bet. It's going to keep going up for a little while, I think. But yeah, this is totally speculation and FOMO. But you can see the volume moving up pretty steadily. It's not up to where it was before, so at the very least, I would expect it to get up there. That being said, the RSI is pretty high on the short-term interval. Let's see what it looks like on the hourly. Look at that. Big-ass run-up. Yeah, that hourly RSI is way too high. It has to correct. I definitely wouldn't buy in now. But it looks like if I was going to draw a wave count on here, we would have I would say we're going to come down and retrace a bit. We have to, because this is way too rapid of a rise not to come back down. Plus the RSI is at 80 plus. Let's see. It's just at 80. So yeah, that's definitely came from nowhere and shot right up to 80. We are going to retrace very soon. When you retrace, then there's a chance to get in and ride wave 5 up before a larger correction. This subwave correction is definitely going to happen, though, without a doubt. It's just a function of when. We could probably move up a little bit more till the RSI gets to about 85. So we get a little bit more room to move. Then we're going to correct, or at least retrace a bit with a subwave correction. Not the deeper correction. Then we'll get a deeper correction after wave 5 and come back down to roughly around the beginning of wave 5, the end of wave 4, around 5,000 sats. That would be the target on the retracement, 5,100. But for now, I definitely wouldn't get until we come back down a bit. If you buy it now, it's going to correct and you're going to end up taking a pretty deep retracement for no reason. Stop scratching my ass, Rosie. come back and look at that though. What else did you guys want to look at? Look at all this red. Guys, what did you want to look at? Don't you like how it's like the only green things are my plays that I was posting about? So I got nulls, XLM. It's barely green, but it's just kind of funny. Everything is red except my trades. Nulls, XLM, MOD. Where's MOD? Fuel I didn't get into, but you guys know that's one of my favorites. MOD. So there you go. EOS is down. That's in the red. So my 4 trades were XLM, EOS, MOD, and nulls. And the only one that's not green right now is EOS, and everything else in the market's green. Oh, sorry, I had BCH too, but and I got stopped out of BCH for my short-term trade. Man, I would love to get into Zen, but I'm not touching it, like I said, till we come back down. Looks like a bunch of you guys still have an active mic. If you need to, just disconnect from the voice channel and reconnect. Oh, fuck. I was muted. All right, well, I was yelling at you guys for not telling me what you wanted me to look at, but I was muted. So what was it? What did you want me to look at? What's next? All right, you're not answering me, so I'm going to look at whatever I want to look at. Porn. Let's look at some gay porn. Actually, I want to leave up the Zen chart.
Yeah, Zen was the one that I asked for.
Yeah, we already did that. What else? Anybody? You guys got something else, right? There were a couple other things you were naming.
Not me, maybe somebody else.
Yeah, no, not you. Somebody else was talking about some other shit.
Coin.
No, it comes out of left field with Sia coin. Who the hell is Sia coin? Not even on. We don't even have any data for Sia coin, so that ain't happening.
ST.
Huh? What? What'd you say?
Where can I write it to you?
I just said SC. Bitrix it is. It's come down a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. It's been coming down. Only since April 25th. That's funny. It's been coming down since my brother's birthday, and today's my dad's birthday. So it's been dropping since the Feinberg boys' birthdays. Hold on, I'll be right there. Stay cut. Watch out, girl. All right, let's take a look at Coin. I'm just going to go back and get an idea since I've never looked at the chart once before. Oh, wait, I did look at this. I remember seeing that big pump and wishing I got in on it. I would have been retired if I got in on that. From 50 sats to 670 sats. Anybody get that pump? That would have been a nice ride. Imagine that. Like, I literally would have been retired if I was in on that. Huh. All right. Going closer here. Ooh. That looks really fucking good. I like that. I like that a lot. Someone just found me a new toy.
That's why I was talking to you for like 10 days. Is it a kickstart gas-powered dildo?
No, really?
It's harder.
I gotta pre-order the shit out of that thing. Very good support zone. That's what I like to see.
What coin are we talking about? I've been in the car, sorry.
Gas-powered dildo. Sorry, Sia coin. As in, see you the fuck later. I'm getting paid.
I only have 300,000 of them.
Let's see what the volume is here. Fuck me. 340 million. Try to see whether or not I include that wick, but that's a full candle body, so that stays in. Wick can go fuck itself. That's a pretty big wick by itself. No, that could stay. Hey, stop digging the couch. Come here. Why don't you dig your bones into the couch and bury them in the couch? Then you have to dig you my pillow to get it out. Why do you do that? You are a funny animal, you know that? You little beast. I'm just talking to my wife. Joking. She's not a beast. She's a beautiful, wonderful princess, and I love her. Now I'm talking about the dog. All right, we got to get some volume on this bitch. 26,000 coins in 15-minute intervals. A couple of these like lower volume candles. Now we're talking. All right, so this is back up to like 1 million and stuff. But yeah, some of these are like no volume. But it's all over the place. There's spikes everywhere. It goes up, goes down. It's really, really hard to gauge. But we're bouncing right off his support here, so that's nice. All right, let's take a look. Let's see. Should I do one of these and throw my passwords on the screen by mistake? All right. Yeah, so it's hard to say, but given the way this coin behaves in the past, it's very low to a bottom. It just bounced off of both of these supports, although this one's not as strong as the other one, or rather the other one's not as strong. It's definitely an interesting gamble at this point. If the volume keeps picking up, it could be a really, really good bet. How heavily are you into it?
300,000 coins.
I thought 3.32% for a second. I was like $3.32. I was gonna say 300,000 times 332. That's not bad, but that would have been nice. That would have been a nice retirement gift. So let's see if we could just get a quick look at a shorter term fib. So essentially from that top up there. I can't go all the way from the beginning. It's too far. We won't be able to see anything worth looking at. But it's nice to see when your fib lines are actually fitting. So we have our fib retracements that I already drew over here for going back on the larger scale shot. Match with a bunch of these drops. So we have right here that 0.5 retracement, spot on. 618, spot on. 236 as a support, spot on. That means either there's more experienced traders on here, or there might be a lot of algo traffic, a lot of algo volume on Sia Coin. Oh, it's my wife calling me. Hold on a sec. Hey, I'm on a live stream. What's up? I know. I'll be done soon, though, because I got a shower so we can go to Boston. Okay. What's your ETA? 45? All right. I'll be done with this. Just going to do a few more charts, and then I'll be done in 20 minutes or so. I'll jump in the shower, and then when you get back, just get ready. We'll go to Boston and meet Mike. Okay. Hey, no barkies. All right. I'll see you soon. They hear you through the phone. They're very excited for Mom to come home. I'll see you at home. All right, but no barks. Hey! No. Mic check. Am I back? Discord? Discord, check, check. All right, let's try that again. Discord, mic check. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay,
Sorry,
so yeah.
I got this shit in my pocket. Sometimes it's delayed just to get it out and open the app.
My wife called me, so it interrupted the call. All right, so in any case, what I was saying is there might be a lot of algo trading happening on Siacoin, just because of all the fib support. So we're getting a lot of Fibonacci trading, which usually suggests that there's a fair amount of algo trading. There could also just be a lot of people trading it and putting orders at those levels, but that's usually the case. But there's definitely some algo trading happening here. Probably accounts for the much higher volume. When you see big spikes in volume a lot of the time, that's algos that are trading, especially when those volumes match up. So you have, just pick a random spot, even right here, perfect. It's like a perfect example. You have very, very similar levels over the course of a couple days. So that could have very easily been somebody buying low and then selling once we started to move up and hit the 382. That's very possible that's what's going on. We could have had people shorting at the higher prices, buying back lower. But the fact that these algos are on there means that you're going to get a relatively stable and predictive model as far as Fibonacci levels. So if you get, this is like, hey, stop digging at the couch. If you get a situation where we bounce right here, say we bounce up, we break the 236, it's a pretty good bet we're going to hit the 382. Whether or not we get rejected or break through is another story, but most likely we're going to reach that level. So it makes it really easy to day trade. It could be a good target for me to day trade. I'm going to take a look more closely later when I get back from Boston and I have more time. But yeah, it could potentially be a very profitable day trade. So if I were to do a quick PL analysis, let's do this. If I were to buy here, if that was, say I were to buy right there, sell up at 382, that'd be a 15% gain. A lot of potential here. So if you were to buy in, I'm not buying in now, but hypothetically, say I bought in right now, right off of this support. It's bouncing off of this support right now. And this support goes back 2 weeks, the last time the price was down in this area. A few weeks. It was like 3 weeks, I think. So this is an established support. It's been tested 3-4 times. If I go back and look left, looking left is very important, obviously, when you're analyzing and trying to model prospective outcomes for your investment. If I were to buy right here, say I were to go down to the next support, that would give me a stop loss around 204. That's a 2.39, so 2.4% risk, with a potential, even just to get to the 382 retracement, a potential 13% gain. So that's going to be an RR of 5.4. So an RR over 5 is amazing. It means you have 5 times more profit than you would lose if you were to lose. And if you have better than 50-50 odds, that's going to compound your profitability, your odds of profitability. So if you have odds of making if the odds in a situation, so you have a formation like an ascending triangle. An ascending triangle, generally speaking, has about an 80% chance of breaking up over down. 8 out of 10 times it'll move up as opposed to breaking down, and that's when they break out. If they don't break out and they just continue moving sideways or slowly fail, then that doesn't count. But if that's the case, and you know you have better than 50 to 50 odds of it going up, and you're able to get an RR of over even 2, then you're killing it with your probability. And if it were to go up, you're in really good shape. And if it were to break down, you take a tiny loss. As long as you have tight stop losses, you manage your risk well, you find supports, that's where you place your SL below a support. In this case, we wouldn't want to place our SL right on the support because that's where it would bounce. We'd want to go down another 5 sats, go down to like 200. So that would give us a 4.7. That's still an RR of 2.7. You could go a little higher than this just to give yourself a better RR. So 4.3, maybe keep the SL, the risk of loss, at about 4. And that'll give us a nice 3 to 4 RR. In this case, we have a chance of making 13% off a run to the 382. Even a run up to the 236 would be a 6%, 7% profit, but probably not enough if you're taking a 4% loss. That's an RR under 2, and I never trade an RR under 2. A lot of guys do, some day traders do, but that's taking on way too much risk. You hear me preach about managing risk all the time. It's the most important thing in my trading repertoire, so I would definitely avoid that trade if that's all I'm able to make out of it. But there's obviously a lot more potential there. But there's plenty of bounces before. We were already coming down, and then you see this massive run up and bounce. And you can have, in situations like this, where you're going from 265 to over 290, right at 290 sats. So 25, 30, 35 sats is huge when you only have a price of 270, 280. That would be a really big gain. I would definitely jump into a trade like that. And here you have less of a pump and it's more of a slow roll up. So you're going from 223 up to 255. So that's a really good position to be in. 30 Satoshi off of this bottom. And again, look how well these Fibonacci lines hold up. This is such a perfect support. I would bet the shit out of that support. I would have so much money on that line. It's a really, really good chart for day trading. Really good day trading chart. So if you're looking at swing trading and are holding a little bit longer, getting to the other side of that Ichi cloud is going to give us a bunch of support. So that would be nice. This MA has us coming down, so we have to break the merging averages. But as long as we do that, could definitely be a tremendous upside here. I might jump into a trade on this. I'm not sure yet. I might want to see what happens when we get up to this area to hit that average line, the Ichimoku average. Huh. Okay, this is something to watch. I'm going to pay attention to this, and I'll post in the group later when I have a good trade on it, but I very well may have a good trade on it later tonight when I get back from Boston. I'm also seeing a lot of beautiful bullish divergence on this. For those in the group know, my favorite indicator is bullish divergence on RSI. There's no better breakout predictor than bullish divergence on the RSI, be it hourly, 15-minute, even the 5-minute, if you're talking about flash and day trading. RSI bullish divergence, nothing beats it. That's half of the breakouts I call. I'm calling because I'm seeing strong bullish divergence over here. Let's take a look. All right, let's see. Just give me a second. Just gotta check this right here. Everybody who's not on the group, who's on the live stream, make sure you go and retweet my open letter to Twitter because they're fucking with us. Our whole community is getting fucked, and we want to fight back. So I'm hoping if enough people retweet my tweet, they might see it, and then they could do something about it. They instituted some sort of algorithm meant to shut down scam accounts that are asking people to donate Ethereum or whatever, and it's having the negative effect of shutting down regular people's crypto accounts. My account hasn't been shut down, but I've lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of followers because everybody's accounts are getting shut down. Let me show you real quick. So here's who unfollowed me, this service. So this shows, since I started doing it, I set up this app yesterday. It was even. It was like 120 to 120, and then I just got a bunch more followers than I lost. But let me show you like who these followers are so you can see what Twitter is doing to us. If I go to look at the unfollowers, you'll see. Hold on. These are all regular people. These are regular people just like you guys who follow a bunch of people. And now it shows they're following 0 because their accounts have been shut down essentially. They're now restricted. If I try to access any of these accounts, watch what happens. Oh, this guy's has been fixed since. Okay, let me pull another one. See, this account is temporarily restricted. I have to hit yes, I accept the risk, view profile before I'm able to even see their profile. And that's the case with all of these people in this list, with the exception of a couple. The only people here who actually unfollowed me are people like this. This guy unfollowed me. You could tell his account is still completely intact because he's still following 1,900 people. But all these people, everybody who shows 0 following are people who are just regular people. They're not scam accounts. They're not bots. And all their accounts have been shut down. Some of these people have been following me for months, since I first started. And now they get shut down for nothing except being part of a crypto community, and Twitter's trying to essentially shut down and silence the crypto community. Or I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's inadvertent. They tried to stop people from scamming people, and they inadvertently started shutting down regular accounts because their algorithm sucks. Maybe that's what's happening. It's either that or they're intentionally targeting us, and they're trying to shut down our community. It's really fucked up. So that's what's going on. Out of this entire list, there's like 5 people who are legitimate people who just unfollowed me because they don't want to listen to my annoying Jewish voice, and they're tired of Tom Cruise hashtag jokes. But whatever, for whatever reason, they decided to unfollow me. That's totally fine. There's only a few, and then everybody else is someone who had their account shut down on them for no fucking reason. It's bullshit. So that's that. That's what's going on with the Twitter thing. Make sure you go to my profile and retweet my open letter to Twitter that I posted. I want to get as many as we possibly can. All right, I got a couple more before we have to go, so I'm going to keep an eye on Scicoin. I think there's very, very big day trading potential on here, like I said. We'll talk about it in the group later. I'll post about it later when I get back. Check the premium only chat, and we'll go over it in there, and maybe I'll put something together. If I could get a chart together, I could share it with the basic group or public. That would be good too. But we'll talk about it in the chat later when I have a minute. But definitely look at this bullish divergence. That's a beautiful sight. If the volume keeps up, it's a little bit higher than it was. It spiked up a little bit and then came back down. If this actually stays up or even goes up more, then I'm definitely going to want to jump in here. We see a nice green candle here, so it's already on the move a little bit. It's gone up 10 sats, or 3 sats. I think there's potential to go up like 30 or 40 sats. Could be a really nice run. Make a quick 10, 15, even 20% profit on this thing. And then if I day trade it, if I go in and out, I could make 100% profit on any investment with this thing. If I take $5,000, I could turn that into $10,000 in a day. If this thing were to start moving, start fluctuating, and give me enough volatility to trade the volatility, I could probably do that within a week, double my money, maybe even less than that. So that's that for now. I'm also going to keep an eye on Zen. We talked about that. That looks like it's got to go up a little bit more. Then it can retrace. Then we could talk about a wave 5 run. Is it already retracing now? No, it's still at the top of that candle. So it doesn't look like it's ready to come back down just yet, but it is really close because that RSI is getting up there. It's up to 80. Once we get to 85, it's not going to hold anymore. It's going to have to retrace back down probably to about 5250, somewhere in that range. 5250 to maybe 5,000, somewhere in that range. We'll see it come back down to. That would be the better time to buy. It's not a good time to buy right now. We're just after such an impulsive wave. It's definitely not ideal. Some people are selling off right now, actually, but this really big green candle's got a lot of green volume behind it, so we'll see. We're getting a fresh candle right now, just started. And that'll be very telling if this candle takes us back down to reasonable territory. That'll be my entry. All right, what's next? What other coin?
Where did you go?
Huh?
They have some announcement on 31 of Sia coin.
I heard something about Sia coin. I missed the beginning of what you said. The wind is blowing through my screen door, so it's kind of loud. Try to speak up.
I post in the private dark side chat.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look. I'll look at that. Let's see. Yeah, EOS is still moving sideways. That same triangle formation for EOS 2. That's going to have to make a move soon. BTC is getting higher lows, so that's really interesting. That's what we need. We need to see higher lows in order to get up and do a little bullish run. But BTC is still, I think it's still going to go down, but there's plenty of waves to ride on the way there. We could ride every upward moving Bitcoin wave there is, and make some nice profits on the way down. But if you guys aren't comfortable day trading, if you're not comfortable with my strategy, getting in and out possibly as needed, using stop losses to manage risk, if you don't know how to do that and you're not comfortable doing it, get the fuck out and stay out. Stay in Tether or True USD, whatever you're comfortable staying in, fiat. Stay out of the market until everything stabilizes. We get a nice bullish indicator or two. We know we're going to be moving up for a while. That's when you want to get back in. In the meantime, work with me. I'll help you learn. We'll do some live streams. We'll do some phone chats. We can get on the phone every day. You know, I do that for hours a day. We'll go over trading concepts, whatever you need to know so you can get better. And you're going to be paper trading on, for those who didn't see my paper trading video, you'll be paper trading on TradingView right here. Right now, we could even see, all right, let's do a test on Sia coin. We're gonna buy Sia coin at, let's do, fuck it, we're just gonna do a market order just to buy it. We're gonna buy 100,000.
You do this in TradingView?
Huh?
You can do paper trading in TradingView?
Yeah, that's how I'm getting everybody to learn. All of my training, I'm telling everybody to do it this way. You go into TradingView right here. You buy 100,000 tokens for Sia coin on Bittrex. Oh, that was a sell, wasn't it? Whoops. I don't have it to sell. Is that going to do a short? I think so. Nope, it's just going to fail probably. Modify order. It's going to be a buy. I can't modify that, I don't think. I got to cancel it. Okay. That will be a limit order at 191. We don't want to do that. It's just for demo purposes. We're going to buy, market order, 100,000 units, and we'll set a stop loss to sell if it goes down to 190. So if it goes down to 190, it's going to sell it off. But right now, we're just going to buy, market order, 100,000 units. Buy. That one was deleted. This is the one that's going to fill. And then we're going to have it show up in our positions once it fills. Shows our stop loss is down here. You can move the stop loss right here too. It's going to show moved up to, say, 195. Wherever you slide it, you can move it. So.
You also put sell order here.
Huh?
You also put sell order when you buy here.
Well, show you. The sell order was an accident. This one down here that I canceled, that was an accident. So I canceled that one. This sell order that shows inactive, it's not active until it hits 190 sats. That's a stop loss. So what it's saying is, this one just filled. I had a market order to buy 100,000 Sia coin tokens. It just filled the order, and I set a stop loss at 190 sats. So what that means is it just filled my order at 212 sats. I bought 100,000. And if the price collapses right now and goes down, I have a stop loss at 190 sats. So it shows that's an open trade. It hasn't filled yet because it's a stop loss. But if it were to go down right now, 100,000 units would sell at 190 whatever sats. 190 sats it'll sell. And this shows the buy that I just had. Make sense? That's all you have to do. You could do that on any coin you want. We could do that for an entire week, and you could just build up your skills from there. We could go over finding support, resistance, how to spot various trading indicators, how to successfully model future coin activity, all that shit we're going to go over, and you'll be able to learn all that stuff. Since the market's so slow right now and it's really boring, that's when you take advantage. You take advantage of the downtime so you can learn and train and develop those skills.
And where can you see how big was your success in one?
Well, I had 100,000, right? So you start with 100,000 coins. I'm going to trade for the next week, and then we'll see. After a week, maybe I'm at 150,000 is my balance. Open profit right now is minus 4,000. I've been demoing this, and I bought 5 Bitcoin. I bought that at $82.97. It's gone down a lot since, so I'm down $4,000. If I were to sell those 5 and buy it now, buy something else with that money now, but I have $100,000 to play with. So I still have $95,000 available. I can go and buy whatever I want, fill up my portfolio. I could buy, sell, trade, put stop losses, whatever I want to do. I can mimic exactly what I would do in real life. And then after a week, we'll see how much money my account is worth. And then we'll know whether or not it was successful. But you'll know in individual trades. Like if we're doing some training and we go over how to spot good support zones and place orders there, we could do that for a couple days, and then we'll see if you're making money. If you're making money, you got the process down. Then you're ready to trade with real money. But until you're making a profit, stay in paper trading. That's what I did. I lost $50,000 pretty much. Then I decided I was going to sharpen up my skills, dedicate all of my time to trading and learning how to trade more efficiently and effectively, learning how to become a TA master. I spent every waking hour reading books, watching videos, doing research, and I got to the point where I was able to make a ton of money paper trading, fake money, Then I started putting my real money in. I made back my $50,000 in a few weeks, and I've been making profits ever since. So take advantage of the downtime, man. Just do it. Just get in there, start paper trading. That's the way to do it. And you have me to work with, obviously. I'm happy to work with you and help you to sharpen up those skills.
So, are any demos for this trading view? Because I already downloaded.
For what?
So, where to find some tools, so, and so on. Like,
You're mumbling. I
if
couldn't really hear you.
if I start now on trading view, I don't really know where are the tools, all the tools necessary.
What, to do paper trading?
No, yeah, to start making graphs and.
Well, just watch my video. I have a video where I do an introduction to TradingView. It shows you how to use TradingView, and I did the video that shows you how to use paper trading. Both of them are posted under Vader University, or educate. Both of them are under educational resources in Discord. So just go there. You'll find all the links you need. Watch those videos, and then we'll go over whatever else you need. So I got like Vader University right here. This is the live stream from the other day. Let's see. No, this is the one from last night. This is like a 2-hour live stream. Educational resources has. This is one of them. I'm going to post this in Vader University so they're all in the same place. That was the last couple live streams ago. That was a really good one. And then the one from the other day about paper trading. That one I actually posted. That's available to the public, but I think I posted it in our private group too. Let me find it. I'm trying to find that other link. Hold on. Just bear with me a second. Let's see, which one was this? This is a 30-minute one where we went over a whole bunch of stuff, so that's a good one. I'm gonna post. Don't worry, I'll do that later. So the one I just posted, that was a good live stream. The one about paper trading, that video is actually publicly available on our YouTube channel. That one was available. That was just posted for the public, so you could find that as well. And make sure you're aware of how to do all that shit, and then you'll be fine. Then we could go over it in detail. Then we'll do our trainings and everything. So, all right, let me just check this. All right, I got time for one more. Give me another chart, guys. What do you want me to look at?
S&T.
All right, hold on a sec. All right, yeah, just to clarify, there's a 37-minute video that I put into Vader University's channel on Discord. That's a really good live stream. That one I posted the link for everybody in all the groups and everything. And I think I made that one public as well. And then the quick rundown on paper trading, that one is also public. But I'm going to post that in our group as well. Look at the Vader University channel for additional, for another link for the paper trading. Details on paper trading. All right, what was it? SNT? Oh, a bunch of people were saying shit in here too on YouTube, but I have long-term stuff. I use Blockfolio and Altfolio. I like Altfolio. It's a web interface. They have a web UI that I like. And then that's my long-term position, so I'm not really doing a lot of changes to that. So usually just sticking it in Blockfolio or Altfolio is all I have to do. Then I can track it long-term. I'm not constantly adding new ones in. I don't need an API or anything like that. And then my short-term trading are directly in exchanges. So Huobi, BitShares, of course, decentralized exchange. I do a lot of trading on there. I have 4 different accounts. And then Binance and KuCoin. Even do some stuff with Cryptopia. So I don't keep that much money in the exchanges. I keep anything that I'm day trading stays on the exchanges. Anything that's a long-term position goes on external wallets. Then I take a bunch of day trading stuff that's going to be a swing trade that I'm holding for more than, if I plan on holding it for more than a few days, I'll often take it off and put it on a cold storage wallet. But sometimes I have to trade at the last minute, so I don't want to have that money stuck on some cold storage wallet where I don't have access to it. All right, so let's look at, somebody said INS. We can look at INS. And then what else did you say? You said SNT? Is that it? Hello? Okay. What did you say you want me to look at? SNT?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll take a look at that one too. That one's already on my list. I'm not going back that far right now. Long-term stuff we'll look at later. For now, just look at some short-term charts. Long-term stuff's going to take me way too long. Take a quick look. Sort of like Bitcoin. It's actually kind of funny. There's one big parabolic rise. Then we corrected really deep, came back up, and corrected down again. Similar chart to Siacoin. But again, this volume sort of like what we had with nulls, where there's constant volume at a higher than normal level that it's just far too constant. It's not natural and organic. This is somebody manipulating this coin. It's being manipulated for sure. It's not natural. There's some algorithm, there's some software somewhere that's running, that's constantly buying and selling this coin in order to create a fake market for it, essentially. And then the large buys and sells are hidden and don't have as much of an impact. So they end up creating, look at that trend down, they end up creating artificial volume. It could be a good play now, just given how low the RSI was. It hasn't really bounced back up, but then again, there's so much manipulation, it's hard to say. Well, that's unusual. We don't really have like a trend on the RSI because it's just so off. We do like sort of have a trend like from here to here, except it really spiked up before it came back down, so it really would be more of like, whoops. Really be, I would look more at the RSIs, like the top end resistance of lower highs would make more sense. That's sort of like creating a triangle, like an RSI wedge. You could draw indicators on anything. It doesn't have to be on the price action. You could draw it on Stoke, MACD, RSI, whatever. Certain ones don't really fit, but you could draw OBV. You could draw indicators on anything. Sometimes it's good to draw like RSI and OBV triangles and wedges because that'll help you predict breakouts. Because where you're predicting a breakout on the average volume, or if you're predicting a breakout on the RSI, you're predicting an increase in relative strength or trading volume. So that directly translates to differences in price and variations in the price action. So that could be a really helpful tool. Keep that in mind. In this case, I don't really like that bottom very much. It just doesn't fit all that much. So let's instead, that would make a lot more sense. Then you got to look at the shorter term too. Let's check out like 15-minute chart. See how that looks. Yeah, see? That fits much better. Except that's actually a descending triangle. It's not doing much. Status. It's just there's not enough movement really right now. I mean, even this was the biggest move back up. So it's if this is the bottom, then we're in good shape. But I don't really see any reason to think it can't go down further because it used to be lower. It's not like we're at the all-time low or anything, right? So let me go back and just look at the daily just to confirm, see what the bottom was. Yeah, see the bottoms. This is nothing. I have no reason to think this is like the absolute bottom. So I don't know if we're gonna move back up here. Now, just because of how much it exploded before, that's why we have such a huge gap here. If you look at like the standard deviation, if we were to look at Bollinger Bands actually, and look at the deviation for that volume, we would see something similar. So I bet, or for the volatility, I meant, we'd see something similar where we have room for a lot of volatility because that sort of screwed up this chart forever because that was such a massive pump. So we could see some very volatile trading, but it would never be that big. I mean, that was insane. But yeah, it doesn't really look like we're at the bottom. I would keep an eye out for it, though. See if we get up into this area, right? If we can break up into this cloud, then I would go very, very bullish. I'd be super bullish. I would expect it to go break all the way through to the other side of that cloud, which is essentially what Ichimoku's strategy would dictate in that case. But then again, I would have to adjust my numbers for looking at the daily time frame anyway, but the parameters need to be adjusted a bit. But I don't think there's really a cloud trade to be done on here anyway. I would want to look at shorter time frames to try to gauge the bottom. I'm going to see if there's any supports real quick. I'm going to have to look back at the hourly. There's some supports in the middle there. Wow, look at that. That's right on the bottom. We got a few reversals right here. So that's actually a pretty good support right where the current price is. Sort of like with Siacoin. It's really good timing from where it is right now. There's a bunch of supports right here. This is a great entry when you do trades like that where you find a support and you see like right here we're bouncing up and down right on that support line, and that's exactly where the current price is. So that could be a really good entry. My dogs are gonna bark like absolute maniacs right now because my wife just pulled up. When they realize she's here, they're gonna go fucking nuts. Uh-oh, she's calling me. Yeah. Yeah, mama. Mama's home. All right, I'm gonna call it a day because my wife just got home. We gotta get dressed and head to Boston to meet my friend for dinner, and the dogs aren't gonna shut the fuck up. But just to close this out, let me mark off these. Leave whatever you have in the car. I'll go get it. Let me show you this support. So we have a bunch of bounces, reversals off of this line. So there's a bunch of support instances where we tested it for support. We get a bunch of breakthroughs, some bull traps and bear traps, but overall it's a very, very good line if you look right here. So again, bull trap, but then it comes right back down and repeatedly tests it. This line has been tested a ton. We just happen to be right on it right now. I mean, look at that bounce. We never got below it. Here, a little bit of a bear trap, but mostly that line held up. This is a really good support. This is exactly where I'd want to enter, and then you can set a stop loss below that support. As far as getting confirmation of exactly when to enter, hard to say. You could enter as soon as we get any upward movement. I would say if you get up into this cloud. So maybe if you move up and we get up to about 1275, 12, just call it 1280. Just another 20 sats. Hey, no. Hold on, stay there.
My legs are about to get raped.
You're on. Okay.
Can you get my cooler, please?
Yeah, I gotta shut down this. I'm still on the live stream. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, internet.
You look really
Stay. Tired?
high. Why are you shutting that? Ow, the AC's on.
All right.
Ow.
So let me just finish my thought there. Yeah. So if we get up another 80 sats, see this? That's that moving average actually. That's the 50 EMA. If you get above that 50 EMA, right at the bottom of this Ichi cloud would be a really good time to enter, and then you could set a stop loss, a really tight stop loss below that line. That's almost like a risk-free trade if you think about it. It's one of my favorite risk-free trades. You enter, say, right here. You get a stop loss down to, say, 1250. You could even go a little further, below the bottom of this wick. So you don't want to get wicked out just in case it dips down a little bit below that support. You can keep going further, but just to limit our risk, let's say we go down here. That's and the entry should be a little bit higher. The entry should be 1280, and then our stop loss is right down there, just below that bottom of that wick. So that would represent a 2.5% SL. So you're risking 2.5%. We want to target an RR well over 2, but say we were to go shoot for the other side of the cloud right up here. That would be, let's see, 3%. That's not quite enough. I would want to be able to get up much further than that. But if we can break through the other side of that cloud, then we have a support with the top of it. That line ends up being a support. So if we break out from about right there, I need to find a target. So let's look at a quick Fibonacci to see just from the top of this last run. This isn't really the best spot to chart it from, but I'm going to do it just to get a general idea. What was the volume on there? Yeah, I'll include that wick. Actually, no, that was really low. Sometimes I won't include a wick based on what the volume is. So if there's just a single sell, if somebody just quickly dumps it for 10 cents and all the other traffic is at 50 cents, it just flash crashes for a second, I don't even include that wick because it will throw off the entire TA. I know there might be some TA purists who disagree with that, but that's how I roll. If you've got a problem with it, then I'll take it up with my attorney, bitch. All right. In this case, I would include it, though. But there you go. It's a perfect, it's right there. I mean, that supports right below the 236 at 1265. Again, see the top of that cloud is right at the 0.5. If you break that, then the 0.5 becomes a support. That's where you want to be. So if you're going to enter a trade here, you want to do it with a 2% stop loss. So you're limiting your risk. You're going to enter maybe a little bit before. You don't have to wait till 1280, but you could probably jump in about 1275. You're about 15 sats clear of the support that we have right now. That would be a safe entry, I would say. Then we get above this support here, above the 0.5. And then when you're above the 0.5, that serves as a support. And now you could take another move up. So say we end up going like, just draw like a brief Elliott wave, possible 5 wave impulse. This isn't, like a good count or anything. This is just a rough idea. Let's say we had something like this. Then we get the 0.5 as a support. Wave 5 could take us up to 786. Up there, it would probably be a little bit shorter, I would think. No, we could get a strong. I'm just looking at the left to see like what happened in the past, where we have third and fourth impulsive motive waves. A lot of the time, it depends what certain coins do and how they're traded. Some coins will have the initial motive wave is the most impulsive over wave 3 is supposed to be the most impulsive according to Elliott wave theory, but very easily could be wave 1 or 5. But sometimes you'll have third or fourth impulsive waves that are or motive waves rather, third and fifth motive waves that are significantly longer than wave 1. So in this case, it doesn't stop. Like pretty often you'll see like a short wave 1, a longer wave 3, and then a short wave 5. Typically 1 and 5 tend to be around the same size, and the distance between the end of wave 2 and the end of wave 4, the distance between those two are very closely aligned with the length of wave 5. So that's usually what you can expect. So based on some of the earlier traffic here, I don't see any common scenarios where it frequently fails on the fifth wave. So we could probably get up. It's going to take several days to make a move of that size, but it's a decently high potential. It's probably worth it to consider a trade like that. Be a RR3. I don't know. I'm second guessing it. An RR3 is not really that high of a return. A lot of the trades I target are 5 to 10 RR, where we have 5 times the return on the risk. Trades like ONT, we had a 30 RR. Knowles, my Knowles trade that we got in on the group, was 120% gains for a 7% risk. So we get a lot of 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1 RR trades. But if you're willing to go, if you like a coin like this, I don't have any problem with a trade like that. I just wouldn't do it myself. It's not rewarding enough. There's not enough payout. Too much risk for the reward. But it's up to you. You guys can certainly go after it if you want. You have a very, very good support here, so it's a relatively safe bet. If you have a tight stop loss below that line, you're not going to take much of a loss, 2 or 3%. So that's what I would do. 2 or 3% loss at the most. Pretty much a free trade. You could even put your SL at probably minus 1.25 based on how tight it is and how well it's been holding up. The range on this, it's really a range. Most supports are. So if I were to range that out, it would be about right there, a little bit above. There are a few times where it wicks out lower, but for the most part, that's recently what we've been seeing. If you go back and look left, same thing. If we go back over to here, the main candles are there. Oh, wait, can I move that? Nope, that was exactly where it was. Yeah, that was like big wick. Bounced right off of there. This wick bounced right off of there. So there were a couple of them. All right. Yeah, worth looking at, but keep in mind, there's definitely a ton of manipulation on this coin. Because this volume is not normal. To have that much constant volume is abnormal. Usually, you're going to have way more peaks and valleys, peaks and troughs. But this is just way too constant. That's very similar to what Knowles was doing. And the further you zoom out, the more it looks like it's just a straight line going across. See? Look at that. That's not normal. That is very, very abnormal. What else was I going to take a look at real quick? INS.
Can you check Zen again, please?
So it's correcting. Remember when I said it's getting really high and it's going to retrace pretty soon? There you go. You're welcome. I told you not to enter. I hope you didn't enter. I hope you listened. Now, should be pretty much it. Now, here's actually something you run into, though. if it retraces much further, if it goes beyond that, we're retracing into wave 1 territory, which will invalidate the wave count. However, you have to look at the order books to really be positive. But in cases like this, that's not a valid wick. I won't even include a lot of wicks because, like I said, the volume's so low. Like in this case, we have really high volume, but that could have all been lower price trading, and then there might have just been like a very, very brief spike that was super low volume from a single order. It doesn't necessarily mean the count is invalidated, so I give myself a little bit of leeway there. Again, that's something an Elliott Wave purist would say, no, then it's now invalid count. Well, fuck you. It's a valid count. It's fine. If it can accurately model the future and I can make money off of it, I'm not going to completely invalidate the TA because that's what the textbook says I should do. Sorry, but we should get a really strong bounce into wave 5. The problem here is the RSI is still really high. So I would ideally like to see this candle close out sort of in the middle there. Maybe give us one more candle that's down, moving down to essentially right where it is now. I wouldn't want to go down much further than it is right now. And then after that, we can move back up because the RSI will have reset, come back down to sub 30, sub 40 at the very least. Then we can get enough momentum to move up into wave 5. That's what I would look for. So I would not enter Zen until there's a strong bounce. Let me do a quick. This is not very good for Fibonacci because. Oh, you know what? Actually, I would redraw this wave anyway. I'm almost done, Jenny. You really can't do wave count this early in the trading history on something like this. Let me switch back. Hold on. It's 5:40.
Yeah, I don't want 6:30. I went to shower.
There we go. That's more like it. Yo, crypto AMD in the house. He helps me with my group. He doesn't have his own group, but he's really good at TA. If you guys don't follow him now at crypto AMD, he's a friend and a really smart guy. He's got a really small penis, but he knows a lot about technical analysis and the crypto space. So I would definitely follow him and learn some shit. He's just as bearish as me. He's actually more whoa, Jesus. He's actually more bearish than I am. I think we're headed down to the 4s, low 4s, high 3s. He thinks we're probably going down to sub 3. Crypt, if you want to get on the call, you can get in the voice chat. I don't know if you want her to talk, but I'm going to head out anyway. Jenny's waiting on me to, she's going to take a shower, then we're heading to Boston. So, what was I going to look at? Oh, yeah. So this is a lot more like it. We now have a chart with much more trading history, more data, essentially. We need as much data as possible to predictively model anything. This pump sort of makes it impossible, though. So let's see after that pump. Now that things have stabilized a bit. This is a lot better chart. Again, hey, no barks. This is tough. So if that's our correction, I would probably, that would have to be our wave 1, which gives us a lot more leeway here. So this could actually be This could be a much better play. Hey, no. No. No barks. Rex, cut that out. Okay, so yeah, we have a lot more leeway here because what we could do, you can easily fractal the shit out of this.
Stop that. Don't give in. You done?
Be done in 1.5 minutes.
That's typical for you.
That's true. It's pretty much the longest I've ever lasted. Okay, so in this case, this could actually just be a subwave. So we're on subwave 4, retracing a bit, resetting. If you look at the short term, right, that would be a much better indicator. Let's look at the 15-minute or 5-minute RSI. You can see there's a lot more retrace on the RSI on the shorter time frames. That's where we're coming down because we're on a little subwave retracement. It's really good timing for a subwave retracement. We needed it badly. That could be the bottom, and then we can move up from here. Again, I don't know that I would enter. I guess you could. The last subwave of this larger wave could be a really good time to enter as well. It's not going to have as big of a move as that wave 4, but to get an idea of where this thing might go, it's really hard. That big pump from the Binance listing ends up making it really hard to get a good Fibonacci tool retracement. We could try. I mean, the good thing about Fibonacci is it's universal. Those are the numbers of life. The flowers on a petal, the scales on a fish, they all use Fibonacci. It's pretty amazing, actually. So generally speaking, even in situations where there's manipulation, where there's been some abnormality in the chart, you could still get a rough estimation, even by just coming up with more roughly predicted or drawn Fibonacci retracement tool. But it could be helpful, so let's see. It's always good when you see certain fib lines actually serving as a good support or resistance, then you know that that drawing's actually pretty accurate. So let's see. Yeah, so that maxed out right there. We are getting some good activity right at those fib levels. So it's usually a pretty good sign. I do this so much that even when I just draw a chart, I'm pretty close to the fib levels, even without having the tool drawn out. But so yeah, I would look for a wave 3. It's gonna get to minimum 618, possibly extend out to 786, somewhere in the golden zone in there somewhere. That would be a pretty long and impulsive wave 3, but it's possible. We're getting a nice bounce here off of that bottom. I'm trying to think if I would enter yet. There's a hell of a payout right there. I mean, that's like a 10% run if that happens, if we get up that high. I would say if you're willing to be more aggressive, you could enter now. You set a stop loss about the 382. That's going to be a pretty deep stop loss if you enter now. That'll be a pretty big hit if you're wrong and it goes down. Let's see. For me, 3.5 is not that bad, but let's see. Yeah, if we end up getting up to the 786, this is actually a really good play. You buy right now, you get a stop loss at the 382 fib level. That's an optimal place for a bounce. So you go 20 sats below, 50 sats below that fib retracement, You know you're going to get some good support there in most cases, especially since that's exactly where wave 1 maxed out. You're limiting your potential loss to 3.5, 3.7%. And your reward could potentially be 15%. So that's a 4 to 1. You have a risk reward ratio of 4, a 4 RR. And if you don't quite make it as far, you're still walking away with pretty much a 2 RR, which is my bare minimum. I won't get into a play if it's under 2. So right here, at the very least, if you just hit 618 on wave 5, subwave 5, we're still looking at a 2 RR. This is a good play. I'd get in. I have to go shower, and we're going to Boston to meet a friend of mine who's visiting. But if I wasn't, I would enter this trade right now. I'd risk the 3.5% for a potential 15% profit. Then I would sell. I would sell at the end of this 3 wave, and then wait for the deeper retracement. This 4 would probably retrace further. Maybe looking down to that 0.5, to 22.8. That would be a really good buy too. So you sell off after the completion of the final wave of the subwave, and then you could buy back, and you set yourself a target that's down there. So I would have a sell target up here. Have another buy target down here. And then you ride wave 5 out from there, essentially to the former top. I would shoot for the former top. I would do a Elliott wave extension. The only Fibonacci extension tool. The problem in this case is things are still thrown so far out of whack from the prior pump from the Binance listing that I'm not really sure how well that would work. A lot of this trading activity is still due to the entrance of new buyers into the market because of all the additional traffic on Binance. So we could go far beyond what this model's. We could fall far short of this model. But I definitely see it being a profitable trade. If we do break down, I would stay out of it. I wouldn't even try to get back in. Like if we were to break down from here, if I get stopped out with a 3.5% loss, I would stay out of it. I'd let it work itself out. I wouldn't try to jump back in. I wouldn't be too eager to get back in at all. I would just want to stay away from it because by definition, if this fails, then the TA is not doing a very good job of modeling what's going to happen. I'm not doing a very good job of modeling what's going to happen, so I'm going to want to stay out and wait for a play that's a little bit more secure. For those in the group, you know that I say it all the time. Instead of chasing plays, wait for the plays to come to you. So don't feel like you have to get in. Don't feel like you need to jump back in if you get stopped out. If you get stopped out, stay out. Wait for something that's a lot safer, that gives you a much better reward, and play it safe. Because managing risk is the only way you're going to maintain any sort of profitability, given how the market is nowadays. So that's that. I'm going to take off.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're welcome. If you think of anything else to look at, post it in our chat, and I could take a look later when I get back. We're going to head to Boston in a few, so I'll probably be back much later tonight. Yeah, I'm going to do some drive charting, so I'll make sure to send you. My wife said no, I'm not. I'll make sure to send you some charts on the road.
Not in my shirt.
All right, catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be in the group if you need me. Just shoot me a DM, or I'll be in there. I'll be in the chat. For those who aren't in our group, you suck. You don't get to play. Adios, muchachos. Te quiero.